Hi, today we're using some gorgeous blues and pinks to paint a dramatic sky and a beach landscape. I'm painting the sky a mix of cobalt blue and powder blue. It's going to be slightly darker at the top of the canvas, and then I'm adding white as I'm moving down towards the masking tape, so it'll be lighter as we move to the horizon line. You might need a couple of coats of paint to get a good coverage. Once the blue is dry, I've made two different greys using Prussian blue, cobalt blue, a little bit of Payne's grey, and then to half of that paint I've also added some rose pink, so I have a slightly lighter and darker shade of grey. We're going to use this to build up the structure and position of our clouds. I'm also adding a little bit of pale terracotta and rose pink to the edges and then softening and blending those colours together. As you can see, I'm being fairly generous with the paint. If it's thicker like this, it will make it stay wet for longer, and it will also make it a little bit easier when you come to buff it and blend it together with a mop brush. As the clouds get further away, I'm going to make them thinner and also flatter and more horizontal, and that will help create a feeling of distance. I've also made them slightly more blue by adding a little bit of cobalt blue. For the ocean underneath, I'm really using all of the same colours I used for the sky. I have my flat brush and I'm blocking out the ocean area and gently blending the colours together. We will be giving it another coat of paint and adding more details, so at this point we're just blocking out that colour. The same goes for the beach. I've still got a little bit of blue on my brush. I've picked up some rose pink and pale terracotta, and then on the left hand side, which is going to be in shadow, I'm using my blue colour, and on the right hand side I'm using my rose pink and pale terracotta, and then we just blend those together in the middle. Once the sky is dry, we can come in with our second coat of paint, and this is where we'll pay a little bit more attention with the blending. As you can see, I've added some permanent rose to my palette because I wanted to make the blues just slightly more purple and less grey. And I'm using the same process as I did for the first coat. I'm adding in the colours with my Filbert brush, and then I'm using a mop brush to soften and blend the colours together. You can add as many coats of paint as you like, you can go over it as many times as you like until you're happy with the blend. Now that the lighter peachy colour has dried, I'm coming in with a small round brush and I'm adding just pure rose pink to the lighter areas where the sun and the light is hitting the edges of the clouds. You can also come back with an even lighter colour and get even more highlights by adding white to the rose pink. Now I'll give the ocean a second coat of paint. I'm going to make it slightly darker at either edge of the canvas, and then the lighter section is going to be in the middle where you can see the light coming through the clouds. I'm using a blender brush, but you could also use a flat brush if you have one. Now I'm adding a little bit of interest to my sand dunes. I've got a small round brush. I'm using mainly blues on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I've still got my permanent rose and pale terracotta, but I'm also going to start adding a little bit of yellow ochre too. I've made a very dark colour with Prussian blue and yellow ochre. You can also add a little bit of Payne's grey if you'd like to make it even darker. I've blocked out the main part of where the grass is going to be, and then I'm coming in with my liner brush to start adding the details. I've started with the darker colour, and then I'm coming in with yellow ochre, a little bit of rose pink and white. When you're using a liner brush to paint grass or something with a very fine detail, I would recommend that you make the paint a little bit thinner, and that will help you use the tip of the brush to get that nice fine point. And here are some other videos I hope you'll like to watch next, and I'll see you next time.